Hey, and welcome into the Big Ten Huddle. Today, we're going to be recapping the thrilling battle between the Oregon Ducks and the Purdue Boilermakers. Before we dive deep into the key moments, stats, standout performances, pros and cons, takeaways, NCAA tournament predictions, I want you to like and subscribe for more game recaps, more live episodes with special guests at 10 a.m. on Mondays and 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Fridays. We also have a football channel linked in the description. We're putting out tons of content over there, even in the off season. There's no off season for us. So check all that out. Check out the football channel. Check out everything else here on the basketball channel. Now, let's jump into the game. The game took place at a packed Matthew Knight Arena in Eugene, Oregon. This was a highly anticipated matchup. Oregon ranked number 13 in the country. Purdue ranked number 17. For Oregon, it was a chance to show they could hang with the Big Ten's elites. It was a home game, and so they were expected to win this one if they were going to be a serious contender in the Big Ten. While Purdue aimed to build on their 6-game win streak and prove themselves as a top contender in the conference. The atmosphere was interesting, to say the least, as Oregon's media was speculative about the Oregon fan turnout with so much more noise in favor of the Purdue team. But that couldn't have been because of that could have been because of Oregon's performance, because it simply fell flat as they lost 65-58 in this game. Both teams struggled offensively in the first half. Purdue shooting just 32%, Oregon just 27%. But despite these struggles, Oregon led 31-30 at halftime, thanks in large part to Nate Bittle, who had 5 blocks in the first half. But the second half is where Purdue really began to take control. The Matt Painter coaching really showed out there. Oregon hit a scoreless stretch of almost 8 minutes, missing 10 straight shots. This allowed Purdue to go on an 11-0 run, building a 41-33 lead with just under 12 minutes left. Oregon tried to mount a comeback, cutting the lead to 52-48 with a little bit under 4 minutes remaining after a coast-to-coast steal and score by Jackson Shelstad. Really like that player, by the way. He's a good player, but that was as close as the Ducks got. Purdue pulled away late, aided by Oregon's poor shot selection and turnovers. Purdue out-rebounded Oregon 37-32 in this one with 12 offensive rebounds, leading to 14 second-chance points. Oregon shot just 36% from the field and made only 7 of 29 three-pointers. That's 24%. While Purdue wasn't themselves offensively, they were excellent from the free throw line, making 25 of 30, 83.3%. Turnovers also played a huge factor, with Oregon committing 16, leading to 15 Purdue points. This Purdue team deserves a lot of credit. On a day when shots weren't falling, on a day where it didn't look pretty, where it didn't look all polished and put together, they found additional ways to score. One of those ways was Trey Kaufman-Renn. He's a standout performer. He had a standout performance in this game, scoring 23 points, grabbing 11 rebounds for his second double-double of the season. Kaufman-Renn was also clutch at the free throw line. The free throw line was a big improvement for Purdue in this game. I don't know if it's an improvement, but a really big thing for Purdue in this game. Trey Kaufman-Renn was 9 for 9. Braden Smith was Braden Smith, 15 points, 7 assists, 4 steals, doing it all over the court, making key plays in the final minutes to secure the win. For Oregon, Nate Bittle led the team with 18 points and 6 blocks. While he showed flashes of dominance, he took too many shots from 3, going 3 of 9 from beyond the arc. Jackson Shelstad added 15 points with 5 rebounds, and then other major contributor on the team, Brandon Agel, contributed 10 points and 5 rebounds in this game, but fouled out in the final minute. Next, we're going to look at some of the pros and cons of both teams, but first, I want to tell you about CBB Analytics. If you're serious about staying ahead of the game, you need CBB Analytics. CBB College Basketball. CBB Analytics isn't just another stats site. It's the ultimate destination for in-depth college basketball analysis used by fans and actual college basketball coaches. This is the stuff Matt Painter, Dana Altman, this is the stuff that those guys look at. CBB Analytics delivers stats you won't find anywhere else. Not only does it give you turnovers and rebounds per game and the ranking where it is nationally and in the conference, but it gives you rates for them as not every team plays with the same kind of pace and tempo. Ken Palm does a good job of this, of giving you kind of the overall offense and defense, but CBB Analytics does this so much more. It's versatile too, as it gives you stats for men's and women's basketball across Division 1 through 3, dating all the way back to 2018. From shot percentages to game recaps, CBB Analytics has it all. Use my code HUDDLE, HUDDLE, HUDDLE for $30 off. You can't find this deal anywhere else. So whether you're preparing for an upcoming matchup or reliving the excitement of last night's game, head on over to cbbanalytics.com and use code HUDDLE, HUDDLE. CBB Analytics, where every stat tells a story and every game is a masterpiece. All right, let's go back to looking at the pros and cons of both teams' performances. Let's start with Purdue. Purdue had a good amount of pros in this game. Pro number one, Purdue's defense was excellent. They forced Oregon into tough shots, took advantage of their mistakes, and converting turnovers into points. That was an excellent thing for Purdue. Their ability to grind out a win despite shooting just 33.9% from the field and hitting only 2 3-pointers. This is a testament to their defensive toughness and to the culture that the great Matt Painter has built for this team. This team was able to find a way to win, and that's huge for them. The rebounding battle was also crucial. They controlled the boards, earned second chance opportunities. Some cons for Purdue's offense, for Purdue's performance. Offensive struggles did continue in this one. It's great they found another way to win, but especially from 3-point range. Going 2 for 12 from deep is concerning. It was on the road, so we're not going to knock them too much for that, but they missed some key shots that could have put the game away. Despite leading by 11 with 2.5 minutes left, they allowed Oregon to make it a close game before pulling away once more to really secure the win. Obviously, they walk away with the win, but this is just something that Matt Painter is going to need to be addressing in the coming weeks of practice. Now, for Oregon, because Oregon has their cons, let's start positive, though. Let's go with the pros. Pros were Oregon's defense kept them in the game. For much of the afternoon, Biddle's shot blocking his presence into the game with 6 blocks in this one was huge. They were able to hold Purdue to under 34% shooting. Unfortunately for them, we do have some cons as well. These cons are what led to the loss for the Ducks. The offense was stagnant in this game. The Ducks settled for too many 3-pointers, making just 24% from beyond the arc, and they missed crucial shots in key moments. The Ducks also failed to execute their game plan, as evidenced by head coach Dana Altman's frustration in the post-game press conference with his team's shot selection in a lot of ways, and the overall turnovers. Oregon's lack of poise when the plays were breaking down and weren't working is concerning, something Dana Altman is going to need to fix, and fix it fast at this point too. The offensive rebounding disparity was also quite poor. Purdue out offensively rebounded Oregon 12-5. It was a big issue for the Ducks, as their offensive rebounding rate in the past 5 games is 26.3%, which is third worst in the conference in the past 5 games. My key takeaways for the game is that Purdue can win ugly on the road, and their defense is capable of carrying them when offensive struggles happen. Trey Kaufman-Renn, Braden Smith make Purdue a dangerous team in the Big Ten, and those two are just spectacular together. And in the NCAA tournament as well. However, their 3-point shooting woes away from need to be addressed, away from home need to be addressed. If they want to go deep in the NCAA tournament, Purdue has shot just shy of 32% on the road this season, which is 260th in college basketball this year. For Oregon, this loss highlights the inconsistencies that plagued them this season. They have talent, no doubt. Oregon has talented players, especially in players like Nate Bittle and Jackson Shellstad, Brandon Angel, TJ Bamba. I mean, these guys are Supreme Cook. You're talented if your name is Supreme Cook. But their ability to stick to the game plan and execute offensively is concerning. Oregon will need to clean up its shot selection, take better care of the basketball if they want to compete at a high level in the Big Ten. This loss drops them to 15-3 overall, which is a very good overall record, but 4-3 in conference play. They're still in decent position within the Big Ten. 4-3 is not a terrible situation to be in, but it's definitely not ideal if you want to try and contend to win the Big Ten. But the inconsistency of this Oregon team is troubling. If Oregon can clean up their offensive issues, they have the talent to make a run. However, if it will be incredibly difficult to contend for the Big Ten after dropping the home games, so many road games across the country, especially the conference heavyweights in Illinois and Purdue. Those are games you have to take advantage of. Their overall record is exceptional, with the second most quad one wins in the country at 8. I believe only Auburn has more with 9. They should have no problem making the NCAA tournament. This isn't even a conversation. But before this game, Joe Lunardi did project them to be a 3 seed. I don't see that changing much more than a seed at most for Purdue. The win improves them to 15-4 overall, 7-1 in Big Ten play, putting them second in the Big Ten standings. They do have the most wins in Big Ten play of any Big Ten team, but for Michigan State, they still are one spot above Purdue as they are undefeated in the conference so far at this point. With their defense playing at an elite level, Purdue looks poised to get a top 4 seed in the Big Ten tournament, or a top 4 seed in the NCAA top 4 seed in the Big Ten tournament. As for the NCAA tournament, Joe Lunardi projects them to be a 4 seed prior to this game. I'm sure they're going to move up at least a seed, get to a 3 seed in the next projection. To sum it up, Purdue showed why they're a defensive powerhouse and why Oregon has the flashes of brilliance and their offensive inconsistency is holding them back. Both teams have potential, but going to take some fine tuning for Oregon in particular to reach their ceiling. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button before you get out of here. More game recaps, live episodes on Mondays at 10 a.m., power ranking show for that, and then 1 p.m., both Eastern time on Fridays. Don't forget to check out the football channel as well, linked in the description. I'll see you next time on our next episode of the Big Ten Huddle.